Hey everyone, what is going on? So we are battling my good friend Shagnus, and if you take a look at our teams, we actually have very similar teams. The only difference is I have Bronzong and she has Gardevoir, but other than that, all of our Pokemon are the same. Not the same moveset. Now if you take a look at this, Poliwrath versus Poliwrath, her Poliwrath does have Hydro Pump and Dynamic Punch, so that Dynamic Punch will be doing a lot. Meanwhile, my Power Up Punch is not going to be doing anything, so I think I'm going to switch to Dynamic Punch, at least to try it. And by the way, a lot of these games were lagging. As you can see, I'm lagging with Bronzong, I lagged with Poliwrath. I would have lost the Poliwrath mirror match anyway because of Dynamic Punch. Look how much that Dynamic Punch did to Bronzong, by the way. I know it's neutral, but it still does a lot. But, yeah, I definitely lagged quite a bit in these games, at least early on. I think a couple games I lagged, but that's okay. I still decided to show them anyway. And, yeah, she really whooped our butts in this, these battles. Again, I'm lagging with Mawile. I can't do anything. And literally, I'm tapping on the screen trying to attack, and I sent her a message and said, "Hey, I'm lagging. I'm going to exit out." So I do eventually surrender, and we're just gonna go ahead and jump into another game. Now she does start with the same lead for this coming game, Poliwrath. I actually don't, because I had just surrendered and I assumed she had won that one, or I took it as a win for her, so I just went in with a different lead. I don't know, usually when we go in against usually when we lag we go in with the same teams, but I just took it as a win, as I said, for her, so I went in with a Dusclops. So I do apologize if she was expecting the same lead, but yeah, anyway, we got hit in the face with a Hydro Pump. Didn't know she had Hydro Pump until now, but obviously we know it now. So, nice play on her end. We're going to go ahead and block this Dynamic Punch because I knew I could get to my Shadow Punch. As we do get to Shadow Punch. And that will knock out Poliwrath because she won't shield. She does bring in a Alolan Marowak to knock us out. So we do have the switch advantage, but at the same time, she has the shield advantage. Again, lagging a little bit. Not too much there, I don't think. Mawile is going to go for a charge move. I do decide to block it. Even Bone Club would have done a lot. I'm going to go ahead and go for the Power Up Punch. And obviously not going to do much. I figured this was like a lost game anyway. She had 2 shields left. I really wasn't going to win this one. She does hit us in the face with the Shadow Ball. And we get to crunch, but she gets to her charge move, which is going to be Bone Club. We do survive that, though, so we're going to be able to go for the crunch against Alolan Marowak, and that will be met with a shield. And now Steelix is gone. We knock out that Alolan Marowak, and she brings in Mawile. And yeah, there's no way I'm going to come back from this, especially with the shield. I mean, she didn't have to. She does shield this. She didn't have to, but obviously it's better to play it safe, right? So you might as well go ahead and shield that. So good game. We take a loss right there. And we're going to go ahead and jump into another game. It is an Alolan Marowak mirror match. And we're just going to go to town. I do decide to bluff with the Bone Club, hoping to catch a shield. Unfortunately, she doesn't take the bait and she does not block. It is still super effective. It's just Bone Club is a weak move. It's good for bait. And she gets me with the Shadow Ball. So she definitely gets the advantage on me over there. She doesn't bluff. I do. I am lagging here now with Poliwrath. I wasn't looking good anyway in this game because of the huge advantage she got in the first round. But, still, we lagged a little bit with Poliwrath, and we're going to be hit right now with a charge move. It is going to be Shadow Ball, so I do go ahead and block and then knock it out with Bubble. And Gardevoir will come in, so I switch out immediately. Again, really not looking too hot for me. She does bring in her Mawile. I'm going to go ahead and go for the Fire Up Punch. She will shield that, and I'm trying to get to another one. We're able to get to another one, so I figured another shield would come out, but she actually lets it go through, and it really didn't do that much. Actually, it did a decent amount, but she could still take it. She gets off Power Up Punch, and then is able to knock out Dusclops just fine. I bring in Poliwrath, and I'm able to use the Power Up Punch. It does not knock her out, but we finish Mawile off with Bubbles. So we go for the Ice Punch, hoping she would just not block it for some reason, and it would knock her out. I'm still not sure if that would have knocked out Gardevoir, but it would have either come close, or it might have knocked it out. But there's no reason not to use the shield, so that was a good play on her end. So good game. So again, look at this lag. All of a sudden, it might be hard to tell because the video was sped up, but all of a sudden we just had like a chunk of health taken away from us because we were lagging. You know, it's not her fault, obviously, but she got to power punch super fast, or at least it looked super fast to us. But either way, it's okay. I try to bluff with the crunch. She does not fall for it, so good play on her end. And I'm going to go ahead and take this power-up punch, and I wasn't sure if I could survive that, but we do, and I go for the earthquake, hoping she would think it was another bluff, and she doesn't, so she does go ahead and use the shield, and then we're going to bring in Mawile as well, and she is going to go ahead and go for that power-up punch, but of course we're not going to shield that. We'll take the power-up punch, and we'll go for a power-up punch in response, to be able to do damage to her and hopefully knock her out before she knocks us out. So we are able to do that, and but we have a very weak Mawile, which is going to fall from a Fire Spin, Alolan Marowak. So we bring in Bronzong, and let's see what happens. We're going to go ahead and block this. It happens to be a Bone Club, but still, I still wanted to shield that, so I don't know what I'm doing with that charge move, but either way, it gets blocked by a shield, and I don't know, I was trying to think of a way out of this. I'm like, if I could save up all my energy for the last Pokemon, maybe we could do something. So she actually switches into Poliwrath, and we go for the Psy Shock to knock out the Poliwrath, and then she brings in a Alolan Marowak, and we were so close. I thought this was a lost game to begin with, but we actually came really close, so we almost beat that, but we do not win, so we're going to jump into another one, hoping to get at least one win. So we begin with Mawile, she begins with Gardevoir. So this is a favorable matchup for us because Bite's just doing a lot of damage. We are going to go ahead for the power-up punch. Obviously not doing much, but we do want to boost Bite. So she does actually fire off a Synchronoise. Now if we blocked this, I would have been able to knock out the Gardevoir and have the switch advantage, but I decided not to use a shield on that and let her knock me out and win that one. So I will bring in Dusclops, and now we're going to go ahead and go for the fire punch against Mawile, which will be met with the shield, and then I pull the switch immediately into Poliwrath. She switches into her Alolan Marowak, which is still good for us. Going to go for that power-up punch just to boost up Bubble. Now this is a situation where I like having power-up punch. We could boost the Bubble against Alolan Marowak, but again, still going to try out Dynamic Punch, of course, and we're just going to town against this Alolan Marowak, going for another power-up punch, and I knew I could just finish it off with Bubbles, as we do, and then she brings in Mawile, so I was pretty confident that we were actually going to win this one, believe it or not. So she's not going to sweep us like 10 games in a row. We're actually going to win one, so that's good for us. But yeah, we just finish off Mawile with Bubble, and we do go ahead and take this win. So good game. And by the way, I don't know if I mentioned it in this video, but we are battling in the Ultra League just so we both can boost our badge, because I'm still at Silver and I want to get the Gold. I'm a collector, guys. I like collecting the medals. I like collecting the Pokemon. I'm just a collector in general. But Steelix versus Alolan Marowak, we will get hit with that Bone Club, and I am going to actually get hit with another Bone Club. And if it was Shadow Ball, it would have knocked me out, but we actually survived this, so I took a big chance, and I go for the Crunch right now against Alolan Marowak. Now that will be met with the shield, so at least we take the shield. Could have probably gotten off another Crunch if I immediately clicked on it, but I didn't. So now I bring in my Poliwrath. So definitely not looking good for us because, as I said, Dynamic Punch does a lot to us, whereas Power Punch will not do much at all. So the winner obviously is going to be her Poliwrath, but we're going to pull a switch into Alolan Marowak. Definitely not looking good for us. I thought that I was going to lose this one because, you know, Poliwrath versus Alolan Marowak. However, we do go for the Shadow Ball, and that will be met with a shield, so we do take her last shield, which is definitely good for us. I do decide to block this one. It is another Dynamic Punch, and I thought that I could get to another Shadow Ball. We do get to it, but she actually goes ahead and gets to Dynamic Punch before we do. So I just continue to charge up energy, and I just go straight for the Bone Club. By the way, what do you guys think of the Bone Club? It's higher up now. I actually really like that, because now I don't like accidentally swipe up from the bottom, which I used to do. And now she brings in her Alolan Marowak, and we go for the Shadow Ball, and we actually take this game. I thought I was going to lose this one, though. Actually, never mind. Her final Pokemon is Mawile. We still take the game, but yeah, her final Pokemon is going to be Mawile, so I pull the switch immediately into Poliwrath. Didn't want her to charge up enough for Poliwrath. Going for that Power Up Punch, and then we're just going to be able to take this Power Up Punch, because I knew it was a Power Up Punch at this point. As I said, we could take it and then finish her off, and that will be it for this video, guys. See you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye.